How's it shuffling, card heads? It's me, Card Carl, having it straight to you with the fresh new video. This one comes highly requested. You can read the title. It's How to Play Sweet Bell Day Trading Card Game. To play this game, you're gonna need a deck of 40 unique Sweet Bell Day Trading Card Game cards, a handful of dice, a flippable token, and a friend who also has that. Remember, 40 cards to a deck, no duplicates. This is how your game board is going to look when you are playing a game. Most important right here is your life total. If that hits 0, you lose the game, so don't let that happen. You got your deck of cards, they all start there. Then the discard. When you're done playing the card, that's where it goes. You also have the void. Nothing goes there naturally, but some cards can put things there or take them out. Then where the action happens are your action lanes. You have a left lane, a middle lane, and a right lane. One character can go at each lane. You've also got locations. Locations affect the 4 closest lanes to the location, and there's one on either side between each player. And we can't forget the flippable token. When you're on heads, you've got it. When you're on tails, you don't. You play the game by taking turns with your opponent. First thing when your turn starts, you always do, is you flip your token to heads. If it was already heads, you don't get another one, but if you don't have it, you got it at the start of your turn. Next thing you do on your turn, you draw a card, put it into your hand, and now the main phase begins, and that's where the magic really happens. 3 things you can do during the main phase. First thing is a manual character placement. We call that an MCP in the business. You got a character in your hand, you got a blank spot in one of your lanes, you put it down. Simple as that. But you only get 1 manual character placement per turn. Next thing you can do, manual location placement. This one, you don't need the location to be free. You can straight up bump it. I've got my Joe box. Say goodbye to Haunted Bridge. Similarly, only 1 manual location placement per turn. Third, and most importantly, I can play events. I've got Defend SPD HQ, an event that lets me move a Pro Bell character from my discard to one of my empty lanes. I play that and move Bobby to my empty lane. That doesn't count as a manual character placement because it was the effect of a card, not a manual placement. Playing events is as many as you want per turn. I just played Defend SPD HQ, but now I'm gonna drink a glass of Lade and gain 4 HP. Once you play the event, put it in the discard. Easy as that. Once you're done playing cards in the main phase, it's time to take an action. This turn, I'm going to use Juliano Blast, which lets me do 4 damage to a single target. When an action asks you to pick a target, pick any lane in play. The position doesn't matter. This time, I'll pick Wenda and do 4 damage to Wenda. If it's an empty lane, the damage gets dealt directly to the opponent's life points. If you want to go crazy, you can even target your own lanes. Don't know why you'd want to do that, but you sure can. You'll notice every character has an HP. What happens when you run out of HP? Let's give it a try. I'll use Juliano Blast on Baby Butler. Baby Butler only has 13 HP, but now it has 14 damage on it. That means Baby Butler is out of HP. Take him out of play, put him in the discard, and any additional damage beyond the HP it had gets dealt to the opponent. We had 1 extra damage, so we reduce 1 life point from the opponent. After you've taken an action, your turn is over. At the end of your turn, if you spent your token, restore it. Finally, how do you start a game? You always start with 20 life points and a freshly shuffled deck of your 40 cards. Randomly decide who goes first. Guess it's me. Now I draw my hand of 5 cards to start me off. If I think my hand sucks, the first mulligan is free. I can shuffle back and get a fresh hand of 5 cards. But after that, the next mulligan is 4 cards, then 3, then 2, then 1, and you might as well keep the 1 if you're in that deep. Important note about the early game. Until the end of your second turn, none of your lanes can be targeted unless you consent to it. That's so your opponent can't just target all your empty lanes in the early game and do a bunch of gimmicky cheese damage. And that's the main flow of the game. There's a few extra things you might want to need to know though. In addition to action, some characters have skills. This is just kinda anything else that the card can do. This is a skill that you can use once during your turn. That's during the main phase. If I use It's Time for Sweepo Day and I have 2 cards in my hand, that means I get to draw an additional 2 cards from one skill. Wow. Some cards, like Jackknife, say you can play them right now. That means anytime you want, you can play that card right now. Whether it's your turn, your opponent's turn, during another effect, any card being played doesn't matter. You can play this card whenever you want. Some cards can cancel event cards. That's exactly what it sounds like. That card just doesn't have an effect, and then it goes in the discard, but it counts as being played. Some cards let you search through your deck. Between searching and drawing, you need to shuffle it. Even if something is happening in the middle of something else, you always have to shuffle between a search and a draw. Those pro-bell, anti-bell, don't care tags at the top of the card don't do anything on their own. They just interact with some cards' effects, like Girl only gets to search for pro-bell cards. If you run yourself completely out of cards and are unable to draw a card at the beginning of your turn, you take a point of damage for that. It's 11, okay. Then, every time that happens again, the amount of damage doubles. So 2, and then 4, and you know how numbers work. That's all you really need to know to play Sweetbell Day trading card game. If you have any questions, ask them in my Discord server, and I hope you have a happy day. I'll see you in the next one. Subscribe and like the video, please. Watch YouTube.